We want to make our voices heard. We don't want this corrupt leadership. We don't want these elections that are bringing back and recycling a sick man. A man with a very negative record in power. Look at what they've done. There's absolutely nothing left.
Inside, there were a few hundred Bouteflika supporters and two of his ministers. As one of them was addressing the crowd, he was interrupted by protesters. The protest was short-lived as security quickly escorted them outside of the building. These young Algerians and Franco-Algerians set up their movement called Civil Action for Algeria back in February. They're still looking for office space, but their goal is to make an impact.
I realize this country deserves much more. It has wealth, it has everything. It has young people within reach, but they're all leaving the country.
Their movement is trying to mobilize all generations of Algerians in France and in Algeria in order to move forward.
For this awakening to happen, we have to call on all Algerians to get together and from there create an active civil society that will guarantee a democratic process. Then, existing political parties will have to bring an alternative. Only a constructive debate will allow us to build the Algeria of tomorrow.
The opposition knows it must unite. 4 parties have already joined forces to coordinate a national boycott campaign. They protest together and see themselves as an extension of their counterparts back in Algeria. But they want to take things further by teaming up with non-political organizations.
The reason we're insisting on civil society is that many Algerians don't belong to a political party. So, if there are well-known figures in this coordination, Algerians will want to join, and then we can make a difference.
On Saturday, members of the 4 parties protested outside polling stations as France's Algerians cast their ballots on the first day of early voting for their country's presidential elections.
France's Algerian community, as well as Algerians in Algeria, are protesting against this 4th term and voicing their desire for change. A change in the system, a radical and peaceful change that will establish the rule of law and protect people's freedoms.
We're here to reassure the people, to reject the system as a whole, with all its clans, because they all have the same goals. Our goal is to have a political transition and a real constitution that will give the Algerian people its sovereignty back.
Other groups gathered in front of the Algerian embassy in Paris, a protest organized by a brand new movement called Bara, which means out.
Activists in Algeria and France are here for a peaceful fight. It's all peaceful. We want to change things peacefully. We take to the streets peacefully. We're not vandals. We don't want to destabilize the country.
Salah Menia, the Masira group spokesperson, also joined the protest.
Refusing to follow the regime's schedule is the first step in mobilizing Algerians in Algeria and abroad. Members of the Algerian diaspora are deeply attached to their country, to the legacy of Algeria's struggles, and to what is going on in their country. We know that mobilizing and building alternatives are long-term battles.
Staging more protests, holding more meetings, and making their voices heard. Algeria's civil society abroad is developing the means to be more efficient and is determined to make things change. Their battle has just begun and will continue long after the April 17th election.
Well, we have some sports for you now, starting with all the latest in football.
There were wild scenes in Brittany as Rennes booked their place in the French Cup final by beating Angers. The Ligue 2 outfit stunned the home fans. They took the lead after just 3 minutes, Mohamed Yattara firing home. But Rennes equalised just over 10 minutes later through Ola Toivonen. Before Kamil Grosicki ensured they went into the interval in front. Jean McCoon gave Rennes a cushion soon after the restart. And although Yattara scored a late penalty, the hosts held on to win 3-2. The other semi-final takes place this evening when Monaco host Guingamp. Monaco, currently second in Ligue 1, are the overwhelming favourites after their 6-0 demolition job of Lens in the quarter-finals. Guingamp were promoted to Ligue 1